The earth is going to be full of my knowledge. Don't worry about will I be known. Let's see how much of the earth is going to know me. The earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord Yahweh as the waters cover the sea. Isaiah chapter 11, verse 9.
Praise Yahweh. See, Yahweh's name is renowned among all the nations. It's only unknown, and the power of his name is only unknown among the dead, so-called blacks of America. And it has the government of America upset because the Messiah they never wanted to see come is risen. And the paper, they went on and tell you, Son of God. Throughout, they let you know, the Son of God. I mean, they don't have no question. They begin with self-proclaimed. Right, that's what makes me the Son of God, is that I'm self-proclaimed, self-announced, self-resurrected. I'm self-raised. Praise Yahweh. See, if I had come through man, then I could have only been raised 33 degrees. But I raised myself to 360. Nobody could prevent me from raising myself to my capacity and potential. So that's why I'm self-announced and self-proclaimed. They said it right. I'm self-proclaimed. I don't need another to proclaim me. Nobody knew when I was coming but me. So nobody knew I was here till I made my announcement. When I came as Moshe, Moses, Israel, Moshe, some of you were suspicious then. Yeah, something special about that man right there. You can't fool me. That's what I said, what you talking about? I know. I said, what you talking about? Praise Yahweh. Yeah, I know. There was some who knew. I wouldn't say anything. I just told you I'm your brother. That part of me is true because I come through the seed of Abraham. But oh, glory. I'm doing what I know, and I know what I'm doing. And that's a fact. What I love about Yahweh, he doesn't need a whole bunch of people to get done what he wants to do. I have the world talking about Yahweh. They have to write about me every few days, just often. You know, I am notoriously famous. I know what the world doesn't know. I have every reason to be happy. Let me show you why I'm laughing. Matthew 5, 11 and 12. You'll understand why. See, that captured me right on the paper. That lets you know I'm the Messiah. I mean, I'm in a building being persecuted for your sake. Huh? It's not for my sake, it's your sake. They want the people to read that and have the wrong idea about me. You have to judge me by what I teach. Not by the people who have already been taught by Satan who come and sit around me and reject what I teach, that's not a measurement of me. My measure is those who do what I teach. What do we accomplish? See, the record is clear. My follower is one who does what I teach. So people who come and then go do wrong or come in our midst and do wrong, that's not of me. I'm not that teacher to do wrong. What would I look like being a righteous teacher instructing unrighteousness? That's insanity, man. The unrighteous teachers are television, movies and radios and books and newspapers and pornography and evil conversations and plays. I mean, the evil teachers, they don't mention them. I'm not the evil teacher, I'm the good teacher. Judge me by what I do. Matthew chapter 5, verse 11 and 12. Read.
Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you.
Praise Yahweh. Now, where do we get our reward? After we die? When do we get heaven? While we live. We're not working for no pie in the sky. This scripture teaches us that those who persecute us lose. They got away with persecuting the prophets. But verse 12 says they won't get away with persecuting us. We have a reward coming. Our reward is a small reward in heaven.
Great reward.
A great reward. Luke 6. 22 and 23. Luke chapter 6, verse 22, 23. Read.
Blessed are ye when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company, and shall reproach you, and cast out your name as evil for the Son of Man's sake. Rejoice ye in that day, and leap for joy, for behold, your reward is great in heaven. For in the like manner did their fathers unto the prophets.
See why? I know the end of all this. It's written right here. I see the end of all of that. Tells me I'm blessed. And you are blessed. When men hate you. Now, why would anybody hate you for doing good? Though they hate us and separate themselves from my company. Can you imagine that? Well, it says here that that would happen. And if they reproach and cast out your name as evil, why? For the Son of Man's sake. So you that dare love Yahweh ben Yahweh, no, you're not the only one they seek to persecute. Yahweh got it already fixed. It's fixed now. I'm telling you, it's fixed. It's fixed, boy. Y'all better believe it's fixed now. I'm here to set judgment. I'm not playing no games. I'm here to set judgment. And I'm not just going to set it in America or Miami. I'm setting it on the planet. The whole earth. Yahweh is not God of Miami. He's God of the planet. He's not just God of the planet, he's God of the universe. He's not just God of the universe, he's God of the galaxies. He's not just the God of the galaxy, he's intergalactic. He's not only intergalactic, he's all that is and isn't. That's who Yahweh is. And I'm talking for the whole planet. That's what's so beautiful. See, I keep telling you, you're in something big. Matthew chapter 24, verse 1. Read.
And Yahweh ben Yahweh went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple.
This verse proves that there were two visions, two sights here. His disciples saw one thing, and he saw another. And his disciples felt like they could show him something. He departed out of the temple, from the temple, and then his disciples came to show him the buildings. That means that they were carnal minded. They could only look at physical structures. They couldn't see what he was really about. And that's the way it is today. People can see the hotels and the grocery stores and the different businesses and the buildings, and they are amazed at what they see. Amazed. And then they go and they show people, let me show you what Yahweh ben Yahweh is doing in the cities. Right? And the people look at buildings, but there are other buildings in the city. Not the only buildings, there's plenty of buildings. And other people have taller buildings than I have right now in my possession. They're really already in my possession. All that's mine. Everything on the planet is already mine. It really is. Only you don't know that yet. Verse 2.
And Yahweh ben Yahweh said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down.
What a mystery. Can you imagine the consternation they felt? Obviously, they wanted to show the Son of Man these wonderful buildings of the temple, which meant they were proud of these physical structures. They were proud. And he said, what you're looking at is not what I'm building. In fact, do you really see? Do you really see all these things here? Well, what you're looking at is going to be thrown down, torn down, wiped out. There's not going to be one stone left upon another. That means the building will be totally destroyed. Can't you imagine, after having worked on those buildings for years, and maybe having preserved some from Solomon's day, seeing them all thrown down? Can't you imagine their heart being wiped out? You mean I won't be able to go to the temple no more? That's what that meant, thrown down. I mean, I won't be able to go there again? This beautiful building for Yahweh, I'll never see it again? I can imagine the wailing and the sorrow. Wiped out. Now you should know what he was talking about. What was it? Your mind. You are the temple. This physical structure is not the temple of love. Temple of love is inside us. We're the temple that has to have love inside. But he said 2,000 years ago, when the end comes, you won't see the temple of Yahweh at all anymore. It'll be completely thrown down. The book says the temple is with men.
Revelation 21:3.
Revelation 21 what?
3.
3. Let's look at it. Revelation 21:3 lets us know what the temple is. And we thought it was a building. No. Read.
And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of Yahweh is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and Yahweh himself shall be with them and be their God.
Now, see who's with you? At the time of the end, Yahweh himself is going to be here with you in the flesh, dwelling with you, but coming to a temple that's already thrown down. And it's been thrown down ever since those words were spoken. 1900 years ago, it's been thrown down. And look at our people today. They are so thrown down until they reject their own God. The God that has come to be with them, they rejected. They're not with. Can y'all hear that? God himself will be with them. The tabernacle will be with men. So this prophecy did come true in verse 2. We were thrown down as a temple, as a people, as a nation, totally destroyed through slavery here in America. And all black people on earth have been wiped out. It's not just Mandela in Africa. He's been set free, but the people still aren't free. And they thought when he got set free, the people would be set free. Verse 3. Read.
And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?
That's what this is the subject of. I'm showing you things to come. Anytime you see a government attack Yahweh's son, they are through. That's the end. You can't get no closer to the end than that. Come against the Creator Son. You have the nerve to come against the name of the Creator. Then you are through. So the disciples at least wanted to know, when shall the temple be thrown down? Give us a sign so we can at least have a pre-warning. Give us a sign of your coming. Why would somebody need a sign of my coming? What's the purpose of a sign? Isn't it a warning? A heeding? A sign gives you information for direction or preparation? That meant that they knew they were going to be unprepared. Now, if the disciples were looking for the man they were talking to, why would they need a sign from him? I mean, If they were looking for the man that they were talking to, why wouldn't they recognize him? See, something had to happen to them. They knew something about the man they were talking to, that he couldn't have been the one coming back, lest they would have recognized him. Had to be another man coming. And the disciples said, well, we recognize it's not going to be you, so we need to know the sign of the man that's coming. How can we recognize that man? How can we recognize his coming and the end of this world? Look what this message tells you. It tells you the coming of the Son of Yahweh is simultaneous with the end of the world. It goes together. Now, don't you think Satan knows that? You think the leaders and rulers of this world do not understand that with my coming is the end of them? So what do you expect them to do? Applaud? Do you think they're happy? You think they're not worried? They sing a song for nothing, don't worry, be happy. They can't do that. They can't be happy, they're worried. Can you see that? So the disciples learned 1900 years ago that with the coming of the Son of Yahweh is the end of the world at the same time. So what does that mean? Then who's the sign? What's the sign? The Son of Man coming. Soon as I show up among you and resurrect you into the name Yahweh, that's the sign. Sign of what? The end of this world's rulership. So the government of America just has to face up to, it's your end, baby. You have to give it up. You just got to give it up. I may not look like much, but you still have to give it up. Now, it's been people who have heard me teach for 10 years, and the things that I said was going to come. I told you we were going to have apartments. I told you when we didn't have a thing. We were going to have hotels. We were going to have grocery stores. We were going to have supermarkets. The best of everything you can see on the earth, we're going to have it. I told you. Now it's manifest. Why am I bragging about what Yahweh has done? Because the rest of what he said is coming true. And I told you how it would be. I told you there would be a falling away, that those that you look at today won't be here tomorrow. And I told you there would be people who will come who will accept me head up. They won't go through no chain. They're going to know, yes, Yahweh ben Yahweh is God. That's it. Boom. They're going to take that without a problem. I told you that day is coming. In the paper today it tells you, white people, even my enemy tells you, I'm the Son of God. Right in the paper, very clear. Refer to, look on the next page, Son of God, this title, look up, Son of God. I don't care who believes or don't believe, that's the way it is. They're telling you too, you can't blame them for not telling you, they're telling you. And the paper shows you I'm not worried. I'm rejoicing and exceedingly glad. Even they wrote and said he came out smiling. Can you imagine? I mean, we're persecuting this man and he's coming out smiling. The government is against this man, he's coming out smiling. What's the government after him about? Let me show you. And while they put all this garbage down, that's enough to scare fright away. They put enough stuff down to make fright run. They put enough stuff down to make scared take a flight out into space somewhere. And I have nerve to come out smiling. And you can tell when it's real. I mean, I'm just as happy. Why am I happy? Because I know this is the end of their rulership. And every time they come against me, they hurrying it up. That's all. Every time they come against me, they hurry up their end. Now see, people are going to know Yahweh is God in the end, but it will be too late for some. How many know what the sign is? How many now know who the sign is? How many know the name of the sign? What's the name of the sign? Yahweh ben Yahweh is the name of the sign. And I come doing what? At the end of the world. So, not after I leave, man. It's now, while I'm here, the end comes. Daniel wasn't worried when they threatened him with the lion's den. Do I look weak to anybody? Nobody in here is scared. I consider it an honor to be persecuted in Yahweh's name. That's the greatest honor I know. This devil said in the paper, Yahweh and 9 of his lieutenants. I don't have lieutenants. I've never had lieutenants. I don't have lieutenants now. There's only 3 in the hierarchy. Yahweh, Yahweh ben Yahweh, and Israel. That's it. Who wants to know the leaders? Yahweh, Yahweh ben Yahweh, and Israel. That's the family. That's it. There is no hierarchy. They are so funny. Verse 4 and 5. Verse 4 and 5 read.
And Yahweh ben Yahweh answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you.
Now right there. What does that mean? That means that deceit would be everywhere. This means that when the Son of Yahweh comes and the end of the world is due, deception will be running wild. So what do you see in the paper? Deception. I mean, can you imagine writing some garbage for the last 10 years, the same garbage? I mean, it's the same. Everybody's tired of reading the old story. See, they don't want to write my story. Why? Because it's good, man. My story is good. So they have to keep coming for 9, 10 years. 10 years of garbage. Can you imagine that? Why? Because they limited intelligence. It has to be someone with a limited mind to keep coming back with the same garbage, except to do what? Take people's mind away from the one who is come with the message that brings the end of the world. What message do I bring? Morality, goodness, teach people to be good. That's all I'm doing. Teaching people to be honest. I'm letting people know, if you're not honest, you can't be a part of me. That's all. That's simple, isn't it? If you're not honest, you can't be a part of me. You want to be a part of me? You have to be honest. Crooks are not welcome. You want to be a crook? Stay where you are. This is not the place. But when the Son of Yahweh comes and the end of the world comes, look for deception. But then you're warned, right? Be careful. Be careful. Take heed that what? No man trick you away from Yahweh ben Yahweh, the message of Yahweh ben Yahweh. Verse 5, read.
For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many.
Many shall come in my name, saying they are Christians, Christians. Many come saying they are Christians. They know my name, but they say they're Christians. They know my name. But I'm the only one in 6,000 years that has come with the name Yahweh ben Yahweh. No one has ever come in recorded history with the name Yahweh ben Yahweh. I'm the only one. But deception is all around you, trying to keep people from coming. Why? Because I'm the man that teach you to come together and love each other and build heaven on earth for yourself right now. Put away all your jealousy, all your suspicion, Put away all pettiness, put away all foolishness, and let's be serious. And let's be committed to each other. Let's go. Now, are you ready? You want to sit around and cry, or you want to get up and build? You want to sit around and moan and groan, or you want to get up and build? You want to holler and cry, you're being oppressed, or do you want to get up and build? It's up to you. What are you going to do? Italians come to America, get together, build a heaven for themselves in this country, and that's all right. The Chinese have come to America, and the Vietnamese and others who've killed Americans come back, turn around and come right here to America and build up a community and build up a heaven for themselves. And that's all right. The Japanese killed Americans. And they've come over here and bought up half the country. They're not really happy, but they can't do anything about it. But when one, just one from among you, come and help you get up, the whole government is upset. They don't want you. They're cutting your set-asides and your affirmative action and your voters' rights and everything that you thought you had gained, they're just taking it from you. You got jobs under this kind of bill and that kind of bill. They cut the bill out, file lawsuits, take your jobs, and then I come along and give you help, and they come against me because I'm your help. What do they expect you to do? Give up? We may not be too smart, but we don't have enough sense to give up. Verse 6, read.
And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
Is it going on? Is this scripture fulfilled? But the end is not yet. Not yet. I wonder why the end is not yet. Here the Son of Yahweh has come. At his coming is the end of the world. He is the sign of the end of the world. There will be wars going on. And on top of the wars that's going on, there'll be rumors of even more wars. Everywhere you turn will be rumors of more wars. That ought to be the end, but it's not yet. That means while all of these rumors and wars are going on, I'm here. But the end is not yet. I wonder why not yet. Verse 7, and here's why not yet. Read.
For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in divers places.
Is that going on? And yet, the end is not yet. Why? In the next verse tells you why. Verse 8.
All these are the beginning of sorrows.
All these is just the beginning of sorrows. Verse 9. Let's see if this is going on. Read.
Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
It say all nations shall hate us? No, it didn't. It didn't say that. What did it say? Huh? All nations shall hate us. No, it isn't. You keep saying yes, and I keep saying no. And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. All nations shall hate us. How many understand the English language? What is it saying? Of all that, in other words, there's somebody out of every nation that's going to hate us. There'll be some Japanese. All Japanese? No, but some Japanese. All Chinese will hate us? Nope. Some Chinese. All Frenchmen will hate us? No, some Frenchmen. So of all the nations, of some people, of all of them, out of all nations, some will hate us. We will be hated of all nations. No exception. That says you can't go nowhere on the planet Earth and not be hated. Why? For what reason? When you say Yahweh ben Yahweh, they just right then. What? Right? So just as soon as you say Yahweh ben Yahweh, boom, what? I hate you. Why? Yahweh ben Yahweh's namesake, that's why. Well, why? What does that prove? That the devil is in every nation, hiding out. That eliminates the skin color game. This proves the devil comes in all colors. This proves that all leaders, black leaders, run around teaching black. And the salvation is in the black is a false leader, according to this book. He's in for some trouble. And if you believe that garbage, you're going to be in some trouble. If you believe you're going to be saved because you link up with black folk, you're going straight to hell, boy, because Satan is hanging out in black. Has anybody ever seen an evil black person? See there, everybody moans. Listen to the moan. Listen to the groan. Everybody holler. Woo! Well, how in the world are you going to have peace with a black devil? A black devil is not at peace with himself. You can't possibly have peace with him. It tells you right here. There's haters in all nations. And yet, every nation on this earth came from 3 men, Ham, Jephthah, and Shem. We all came from one father, Noah, after the flood. And yet, hatred abounds. And all the wars that are being fought among family. This earth is made up of family. And the families are at war, killing each other. As if they are strangers, one to another. Huh? We found out that you can be in the same womb and have a war going on inside. Huh? Before you get out here, be warring inside the womb. Who was that? Isaac and Jacob and Esau. Yeah, twins, inside, fight. And after they were born, did it stop? Kept on going. Has it stopped since they died? Among the children. Right now. Huh? So what is the purpose of the Savior coming, the Messiah coming? Is to pull all the family of good away from deception. So you won't have to fight anymore. Stop all war. How many see that? And what is it all about that they're going to hate you? Name. The name, Yahweh. The name. The name. So if they're sitting in a judge's seat, and they're sitting in a prosecutor's seat, huh? They're going to prosecute you and afflict you, and you got some people who will pretend to be your brother who will cooperate with them to persecute you and afflict you. And that this would go on when I come. But that still isn't the end yet. Some more has to be done. In verse 10, read.
And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another.
So now Satan is accusing and printing garbage and everything, and different ones join Satan and cooperate with Satan and betray one another and say, that one over there did something and this one over here did something. The books say they would do that. And then they'll hate each other. While I'm exceedingly glad. I'm out here leaping for joy. Because my reward is great in heaven. Is anybody doing this? And when you see this going on, the end is not yet. Still not yet. Verse 11, read.
And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many.
They outjoin 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 to one meeting. All kind of leaders. Many false prophets. Some have good luck coins and, red cloths and all kind of false prophets, right? Is it going on or not? And many, not 5 or 10. What? Many will be deceived by them. Go for it. I mean, you would think anybody would be too smart to go for a lucky coin. The only man that have luck is the one you send your money to. He's the lucky man. The many who send for the luck, they end up with nothing, and the man got all the luck. Then others run around and they speak black rhetoric. The enemy. You must be aware of the conspiracy of the enemy. Yeah, but what you doing about it? You talking about it, but what are you doing about it? Be aware of the enemy. They're going to take from you. They're planning and plotting to kill black people. They've been killing you ever since you've been here. You don't need nobody. You don't need to pay nobody to tell you that. Foolish people. You've been killed ever since you've been brought here. And then others rise up with a new kind of philosophy and idea and religion. My people go running to it. Looking for comfort other than in Yahweh. And the book says many will be deceived by these prophets. That are what kind of prophets? Why can't the people see? They go on TV and build the biggest church in America. Reverend Freddie, Reverend Floyd, and all kinds of people, right? Reverend Kmart. Everybody got a price for what they want to do. Leading you where? Deception. The book said at the coming of Yahweh ben Yahweh, at my coming, this is when they'll rise up. Imagine that. When I come, they go crazy. They go wild, raising up. What? They want my glory. Yeah. They want my honor. That's what that is. Yeah. That's what it is. They want the people to worship them instead of Yahweh. They're jealous. They know right away what Yahweh ben Yahweh means. So they rise up to make their final kill. Rob the people of all they can get while they can get. Think their salvation in $1. But the end is not yet. Verse 12. Read.
And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
So those that had love, they'll look around and see so much wickedness everywhere, they'll stop loving. Wax cold, that means it just keeps turning, just till the next thing you know, their love is just cold. They look at each other without love in their heart. When you first look at your sister, you say, I love you. I'm glad to see you. And then you see so much wickedness going on. Next thing you know, you're talking against your sister. Talk against your brother. Get real petty. And no matter what anybody says, it just wax on cold. Just wax on cold. Huh? You see, that's what it says right here. What happened? The love of what? Many. Might wax cold? Shall wax altogether cold. Even a fire won't heat you up. Verse 13, read.
But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
Endurance is the test. Can you last? Can you stand the heat? Can you take the fire of refinement? Can you handle correction? Can you handle correction? Or does correction just destroy you? Say, I just don't need this. I mean, I can do without this. I don't have to take this. Huh? I don't have to take this. I can just change my location and do something else. I don't need this. We'll see what you need. All I know is some will endure and be saved, and some will not endure. That's all I know. Some, when my words were found, they were a rejoicing and a joy to your soul. And then we move along and you work a little while, and I'm quoting the word, and then I look out in people's face, they just look like it doesn't make any difference whether you read it or don't. I mean, that's the look in some people's face. It's like, well, I don't particularly care one way or the other, whether you read it or don't read it. I'm not too excited about hearing you teach, but you used to be excited. See, it's a sign that something is taking place in your life that's destroying you when you're no longer excited by the word. You know, no matter how long I've been up today, I've been walking since 4 o'clock this morning, and I'm still excited. The word excites me. But you see me standing here tonight excited by the word, and I'm the one bringing it to you. I'm excited about it.